Hey folks, hope you guys are having a good night. So, right before we get into the gameplay, I'm going to quickly talk book cover design real quick because I saw this one pop up and it's extremely cheap, easy design, so I thought I'd tell you how to do it. I'll do a separate video on like how to do the technical parts of it in Photoshop or, you know, the program of your choice, I suppose. So anyway, let's take a look at it right here. This is James Patterson apparently writing a shadow novel. Now, this is a great example of a stock photo cover in that it is made out of stock photos and really in no way communicates the shadow. Like if you were to just Google an image of the shadow, they probably could have just licensed one and just like stuck it on there, right? Crime has a new enemy, the shadow. Like they could have just licensed an image of the shadow, unless this is like not the shadow at all, but rather something else. So anyway, this is a really good example of how modern design works, is that notice there's only one color. This is not a bad thing, actually. I usually recommend people use 1 to 2 colors. If you start having lots of colors in your cover, you have to think that people are viewing it from a distance, basically seeing it as a thumbnail on Amazon. They're not even seeing it in a store these days. So you really are going to have a mess of a photo the more covers that you have. It also, this is another advantage of having one color, is that it makes it much easier to blend disparate images together. So here's how this image was actually constructed. This is a stock photo of buildings, like in New York or somewhere. And if you look really close, there's like a Freightliner here in the background, right? So this is a modern New York. This is not like New York in the first half of the 20th century at all. This is a stock photo of a man in a trench coat. The hat may have actually been photoshopped on. You could just get a picture of a hat and stick it over him and then get a soft brush and just paint the shadows on. I literally did this with one of my covers. I don't even think I have it here. City of Silver. No, I do have it. Real quickly, I'm not going to pull up the file. My stuff is piled up here. So let's see if you guys can see it, or if I have to like turn on another light. I may have to turn on the light. So the girl's face is actually photoshopped under the hood, and I painted shadows and stuff on her face. So the face of the girl doesn't actually go with this stock photo at all. I just pasted them together using the magic of computers, and it works. So that's what they do with this. And there are certain things that you have to stick in a genre, including color. So, quote, thrillers have black covers with a single color like red or yellow usually. In this case, I went with yellow. So it's a stock photo of a city. On top of that, they have either a lens flare or just a couple of clicks from a soft brush that's painted white behind this stock photo. And, then they basically have, on top of everything, the way they get all one color, the easiest way to do it is you have a tool in Photoshop that will change the hue or saturation. There's a colorize box. You click that, and then it'll just color everything to that one color. So everything will go to that one color, and you're dealing with either shades of light or dark within that one hue. So it sets everything to one hue. And if you look at this, it's pretty much like that. I think there's actually 2 hues. There's a slightly more yellow and then a slightly less yellow, more orange. But it's really just one hue. It comes out as one hue. And behind this, you have this stock photo and then the city. So 2. Then you have another one, and to make this guy dark is you just cut him out. It takes a second with a tool. And you have a levels adjustment on that one layer and just make it really dark so it looks like a silhouette. And then in between this layer and that layer, you have another city line, which you just create a mask on it and just color it out with an eraser. On the mask, you would color it black with a soft brush here. So you just get that, and then you put a lens flare or another layer between that's just like a couple clicks from a white soft brush. Lens flare tends to look a little bit better. So there's a lens flare behind him, and there's one on top of him right here that's very soft to try to stick him into these layers together. 2 more photos here, a city, a lens flare, then the silhouette to make it look like there's a glow around him. It's all pretty simple. So that's the photo composite. It's actually not a very good photo composite. It's not, they're trying to go for like a film noir cover. They're just trying to go with what would be a detective thriller cover. That's all it is. You'll probably find, if you go look on Amazon, you type in like detective thriller, you might find 30 books that look exactly like this. In fact, I might try that right now. If we type in like detective thrillers, let's see what we have. We have a bunch of stuff. Look, okay, yeah, here, let's take a look. Right. Notice the colors, red and yellow, exactly what I said, because I know what the hell I'm doing. Red and yellow. You're going to see a lot of red and yellow through this. And you're going to see the same thing. James Patterson. Here's another James Patterson novel with like the same basic cover design. And these ones, these are actors. And a lot of these are videos, but we're trying to find books. So we probably just click books. Just click that. So we'll get the big ones. Now this one has two colors. That's rather bright. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Blue and yellow, yellow. This one's all gray and blue, which actually looks pretty good. Red again, yellow. Notice like yellow's used. Green and yellow. You have another dude. Notice they always cut off the top of the face. You do that because you don't want people to recognize the stock photo model. That's why. So notice everybody's face. The face is always obscured. You never see the actual model in most cases, unless it's like a really pretty model that you want people to really look at. So you're going to see a lot of the same things here. The same font. Industry ink is pretty popular, as is just Futura. A lot of this is... I'll have to remember which one exactly this is, but you see the same one a lot over and over again. I use Industry Ink for this and Futura. So you could do this all with one font. It's all one font. You could do this with Futura. This would be like Demi or maybe Bold. You'd one shy of Heavy, and all caps. Obviously, everything's all caps. You have the author in slightly darker font and then white on top of the darker yellows, which come out as brown, by the way. Brown, there's no such thing as brown. Brown is very desaturated yellow or orange. Just so you know, brown doesn't exist. Fun color fact for you. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. I didn't show... Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat. Thank you. All right, so let's look at thrillers here. I'm showing you all this stuff and you didn't see it. We're doing it live. All right. Okay, so yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow and red, yellow and red. Yellow, yellow. Same designs over and over again. If we get past the... I'm going to turn the audiobooks with ebooks. So again... half a face. You never show the whole face because you don't want people to recognize again, you cut off the face. You don't want people to recognize the stock photo model because you just get it off Adobe Stock or wherever. Cut off the face here. Again, green and yellow, yellow, yellow. So you guys, if you're writing a thriller, what color are you going to use? You're probably going to use yellow. Yellow and maybe something else. David Baldacci, yellow and red. Exactly what I said. Yellowish red. If we go back and look at this, it's the same font. It's all like Futura, bold, a bold Futura, all caps. You use all caps, even with this small one. And then this is like Futura normal. This is like normal Futura or some variation of it. It's just a sans serif font. And it's all sans serif. The only time you have the little letters is going to be up here with this like demi bold thing right here. So yeah, show his face. His face is obscured, so you don't recognize the stock photo model from all the other covers that he's on. And it's all pretty simple. So I'll go through it again because I think I showed it to you. I think I forgot to put it back here. But yeah, it's all a layer of city, like a lens flare, another lens flare on top of him, a city that you just paint out the sides, another lens flare, and then a super darkened another stock photo of probably a different guy in a different trench coat with a different hat. They don't have to match up. You notice you're missing his legs, so you can't really compare any of this. And the perspective's actually off if you look at it. This is what's called a worm's eye view. So he would actually have to be standing in a manhole cover to have this arrangement. Right? Just look at the perspective. See how the lines, where's the horizon vanishing to? It's down here. Horizon's vanishing down here, either like the person viewing it is on his knees about to. This looks like his. Somebody on Twitter mentioned that he's got himself as his penis here. So the person, if you were painting this as a painting, it's like you're on his knees about to do something here. It's very simple. You're going to see this cover over and over again when you look at books in the thriller, detective thrillers. You're just going to see the same photo covers over and over again. See them over and over again. A silhouette with a building, some plane and a flag. A girl running, girls running, silhouettes with something, silhouettes with the scene, obscured faces. It's all the same crap. Obscured faces. You never show their face. Anyway, so I'll do a more thorough video where I go through like every single thing and I'll show you how to find the photos, and we'll just recreate it with new photos, but basically the same design. And then from there, you can make a better design that'll fit in the genre. Like all of these are actually better than this James Patterson one. And I'm guessing because a lot of these are indie. Indie fiction generally has way better covers than traditional publishing because you have to. Like it's an ad for the book, and so you really can't screw up the cover. Yellow, 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 and red. Everything's yellow and red, guys. Yellow and red. The colors are yellow and red. Just play some games. Hope you guys are having a good one. Sorry that I was missing all that. I wasn't looking at my capture software here. Yeah, they're just selling it as detective thriller, right? So you sell this detective thriller. That just means that like you told a cover designer to make a detective thriller, so he did that. It's just a generic cover. There we go. This is not the right one. Here we go. All right, guys, we are ready to do the castle, I think. Let's make sure we have enough items. Yes. Lots of heals, lots of pures, lots of softs, hints, cabins. We got everything. Let's hit it. For a book called The Shadow, I would think a pulp top cover would be appropriate. They could have licensed just an image of the Shadow for like $150 probably, and it would be better. But you're fighting against a dogma, and the dogma is that every book in the genre has to look exactly the same, or else no one will buy it. Like the consumer won't buy a book cover that is painted. That's like conventional wisdom right now. It's like painted covers don't sell. The problem is most painted covers are simply not good enough to sell. Like you have to have a really solid painted cover, and it has to convey the piece pretty precisely. So if you get a painted cover for a detective novel, it's gonna look like 1940s pulp, and that's probably a good thing. The cover actually looked worse than the Dresden Files, and that's saying something. Dresden Files are cheap generic covers, at least the original ones. I did a video on how to do the cover from Name of the Wind. Name of the Wind is an extremely cheap, extremely generic cover. It's frankly a terrible book cover because it's so lame. I think I have to go further east here. Loved your review of Chinibyo. That shows a classic. Got any other anime reviews coming up? Yes, I'm going to try to do one a week. I don't know what I'll do next week. Maybe Death Note? Because I have a lot that I could say about Death Note. Death Note is generally good, but it's really obvious that the original manga artist wanted it to end at one point, and it had been unexpectedly very successful, so he wrote a second story arc for it that just isn't as good, and that carries over to the anime. The second story arc is not particularly bad, but it's not really good either. It's not nearly as good as the first story arc with L and Light facing off against each other. And it's because you're missing that like I don't know what to call it, an anti-villain antagonist. You're missing the antagonist that's actually the hero. Like, he's just missing from that, so. Might as well draw your own cover. I designed my own cover, so it's pretty easy to do photo covers. I do it because it's cheap. Which is probably why they did that cover. It's because it's really cheap. I played a Dresden Files TTRPG one time. My character died 20 minutes into the game. Sounds good. Sounds like a good... If RPGs have player death, that to me is like a positive. Oh, R. Ankleo. Would you recommend starting with short stories to get a feel for how things flow when starting to write, with the goal of writing longer fiction like a full-length novel? So, I've talked about this before. The problem with writing short stories... Okay, there's a bunch of good things that come from writing short stories. First of all, you will complete a project. So that's really good. That's something that I have only recently thought about. That will give you a lot of positive reinforcement. Yes, I finished something. I can finish this and go on. So that's really good. The thing is that short story, and you will practice your prose writing. But even in the short stories, prose works differently in a short story than it does with a full-length novel. With a full-length novel, you have just a lot more options for how long you want to make your novel actually be. So the other thing is that you're not going to learn a lot of the things that you need to learn in order to write a full-length novel. You're not going to learn the plot structure. You're not going to learn the feel of a plot and how to execute those things without writing a novel. So if you want to start by writing short stories just to get some things under your belt, which you can use to grow, then that's great. If you don't read short fiction at all, I read a lot of short fiction. If you don't read a lot of short fiction, you might end up really having a hard time even writing a short story because you don't know how they're supposed to feel. So make sure you have spent time actually writing short fiction before you begin attempting to write a short novel, basically. Sorry, I was looking at a little map here. Let's see here. Get some treasure here. So yeah. So if you've read short fiction, because this is the thing that happens, is that people decide they're going to write short fiction because it's, quote, easier than writing a novel, and they don't read short fiction, and what they really want to do is be a novelist, and so their short fiction isn't very good. So all their feedback is directed towards their short fiction and not really their actual thing that they're writing. So it's good to move on to trying to write a novel basically as quickly as you dare. But yeah, it's good. So make sure you actually read short fiction before you start trying to write short fiction, and it's fine. I think one of those things that's probably probably can't be overrated is like, it is good to complete a project. So if you can write the end on something, then that's a completed project under your belt. You finished something. Most people who begin writing a book are never really able to finish because it requires... Oh, I forgot to sell stuff. It doesn't matter. What do we drop? I think the ice armor is useful, so I don't want to drop it. We'll drop one of the ribbons, I guess, because they don't really do that much. An Aegis shield, that's good. Armor. Trade. We'll trade the Aegis shield for the opal shield. We will equip the Aegis shield. We will trade the opal shield for the ice shield. We will equip the opal shield. Alright. Bunch of gold. Bunch of gold. Vorpal. What is that? Is that a weapon? Vorpal. I'm not sure what the Vorpal does. Let me look it up. At this point in the game, it's good to know this kind of stuff because it's just useful. 24 damage. Red Wizard can use it, but he can also use better stuff that I have, so I guess that's probably going to be vendor trash. Alright. Vendor trash. I think pacing would be complicated for longer works without practice. Yeah, but the only way you're going to practice... So I think the mistake that people make in logic is... Look at this, Bad Man. It's called Bad Man. They think that it is practice for writing a novel. That like the skills that they learn from writing a short story are going to transfer to novel. They really won't. Except for your prose writing. The pacing is totally different for a novel. Even the prose can be very different for a novel, a full-length novel. There we go. At least we got one bad man out of here. So yeah, you really have to write the novel to learn how to write a novel, but you will get some things under your belt, and that's good. You'll have something you can market yourself with too. You can have it on a website, or you can give it away to people. You could try to get it published. So it's easier to get started, I guess, with that, with the short story in that case versus a novel. I gotta drop something. I guess we'll drop... I mean, this cap is so worthless. How am I not wearing something better? I don't know. Oh, can I trade the ribbon? Equip the ribbon? I can. Okay. Let's drop the cap then. That's worthless. Here we go. A heal helm. I bet that casts heal. I don't know. Can we equip it? Oh. We can probably trade it to a knight, though. And we could try using it, see what it does. Actually, I think it's on this list here. We'll find out. On the armor. The heal helm. Helmets. Heal. Cast heal when used. There you go. That's pretty rad. So it's the same as the silver, it just casts heal. That's good. There we go. Oh no! Look at all these guys. I forgot to buy magic for my guys. That's the thing I forgot. Oh, he has a wizard staff. Let's see what that does. You heal. Item, mage staff. And we have a healing staff too. Rad. Item. Zeus. Alright, let's nuke them. Let's see what happens. Cursed. Oh, it confuses them. So they'll like hit each other. And like hit each other in the face. Rad. Killing these Medusas. I have some friends who have a successful small-town marketing company. Started publishing Wing, but the first book they published was a new author who wrote a 930 slog. The artwork was nice, though. I wouldn't get into publishing other people's books at this point. I just wouldn't do it, personally. It's basically all the risk on you. And you don't have any of the channels to, like, make the sales happen. You know, because you're like new in the industry. So yeah, I don't think I would personally ever get into publishing other people's stuff, at least at this point in time. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Oh, there's a robot up here. I wonder if he has something to say to us. Are you the master? Nothing here. Alright. Yeah, I totally forgot to go get some spells for my knights, so I might do that real quick. Let's quickly get out of here. There we go. It'll take way too long to do all this. So we'll quickly go back to our shirt and to our ship and go buy spells. That's what I was forgetting, was buying spells. I'm gonna spend all day doing this. These enemies aren't that challenging anyway. Luckily, we already cleared that room out, so it's not going to take us that much longer to get back to exactly where we were. Yeah, they spent a lot of money and sold like 40-ish copies, yeah. You know, and like, why would you, think about operating like a traditional publisher is like one of the worst things you could do now. You want to go print on demand so that you don't have to hold a bunch of inventory that you don't know if you'll sell. Like, that's pretty much how it is now. Like, I would never do it the traditional way, at least. There's that elf land. It's down here somewhere. There it is. Here we go. We'll get some good stuff. Also, we'll sell some things too. There's something unique in how frustrating the assassination side missions are in Assassin's Creed 1. I like that, but I think sell that again. Yeah. Bob. Vorpal. Mary. Let's sell Odin. Odin. We'll hold on to the flame sword. I don't think it does that much. There we go. I think I can get black magic spells for these guys. Bert. Lightning 2. Can't learn that. Okay. You can learn white magic, though, so that's good. Even traditional publishing is using Pod for paperbacks. Yeah, I've kind of figured out that they're using print-on-demand stuff because I recognize the formatting from my books. Like, this is exactly what I have to do to make a book come out. Usually they use something slightly off, not exactly 6x9, but the other thing is traditional publishing, like if you use Tor as an example, they lose. Oh, he can't learn that apparently. I thought he could. Oh, he can learn Cure too, though. All right. Bob, and then Harm 2. You can't learn that. Interesting. And Cure 2. Oh. Bob. Alright. Okay, well, I could learn a couple spells. Maybe I just can't learn lightning. Maybe I can learn fire or something. I think I have a chart here somewhere. Black magic. Just find night. Knight cannot learn fire. Can apparently learn lightning too, though. But it wasn't letting me buy it, so I don't know what the deal is. My beef is with early AC games is auto-failing missions for breaking stealth. They should just make you live through the consequences. See that? you learn lightning too? Bob, can you learn fire too? Okay, apparently not. Apparently this is incorrect. Wait, what level are these? Oh, there's 2 magic places here. Maybe we could learn some simpler spells. Yeah, I like the earlier Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed isn't really Assassin's Creed anymore, though. You know what I mean? It's like some other game. It's not even in the same genre. Oh my gosh, how do I get over there? Bert. And a mutt. Okay. I don't think we can learn any of these. I'm like wasting my time here. Alright, well we got a couple heal spells, I guess. Good evening, Patrick. Yeah, we're doing okay. My mother-in-law's actually going to be in the hospital for a while. She went in to have some kind of cardiogram done that I don't really know. It's like they go in with a catheter with like a camera or something. It's really bizarre to me. Here we go. We'll just do it. So... Ooh, dinos. So they found some problems. She has to have open heart surgery on Sunday. It's like the soonest they could do it. And it's basically like she had radiation treatment for lymphoma like 30 something years ago. And so that causes health problems, various kinds of weird health problems when you get older. It's like having radiation sickness, basically. So one of those is heart problems. She has to have a valve replaced and have like bypass surgery done. But she's actually like, well, maybe this will fix. Like she's had major fatigue for a while. Like she can't really do anything. The other problem though is that she has really significantly impaired lung function. So having her in a hospital is a little bit worrisome for getting coronavirus because she's in like a very high risk group for coronavirus. Like a normal person, you know, like I had really bad bronchitis from coronavirus. It's like probably the worst bronchitis I've had in terms of just how like fatigued I was and how severe the cough was. But a normal person who's healthy, that's not a big deal. A person who has, you know, trouble breathing as it is, or has like reduced lung tissue from the radiation treatment, you know, so there's a lot of worries that are going on there. So we're worried about that, as you can guess. But we're praying about that. Hopefully that will be okay, and we'll get through that. I'm worried about recovery because my father-in-law is really not healthy right now either. He's going to stay with his daughter in Pacific Grove for a while, which is another town that's a couple hours away, over on the coast, Monterey Bay. I'm worried about him too, but so got to deal with that this week. Yeah. They killed the game at the end of the AC2 series. Yeah, it was my favorite video game story. Assassin's Creed 2 was really... I like the first... I'd probably say... I'm not sure when it started going off the rails. I remember like a pirate one. But Assassin's Creed 2 was very good. And what was the one after that? Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was a lot of... was really a lot of fun too. And I don't know... what happened. They started trying to, I think it's like the classic example of trying to refine gameplay, and you just refine the gameplay out of the game. so there's nothing that is like the original. The original played like a stealth game. It was, to me, it was like a medieval Grand Theft Auto stealth game, and I just thought it was a lot of fun. Despite the weird setup for it. It's like, what's with this, like, controlling this person? It's so that there's some kind of failure thing that's built into it, but it just was like, just make it death. Look at these scary Catmans. Fight. Actually, we should use the, this guy has the wizard staff. And then we'll fight that guy. Mage and Zeus. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, was that it? That's it, yeah. Yeah, they tried to fix what wasn't... Well, what it is like they're... I moved to California when I was a kid because my dad moved here. My mom moved here. So I've been here a long time. But I lived in Nevada for a while too. And Nevada taught me that, like, you can't really escape the state. You know, that the state, even if you go to a place where you, like, you're in the middle of the desert and you think, I'm finally free. It's like the state will find you in the desert. They can't permit you to live on your own. They just, it's, I don't know. I don't know how to do it in any way that's not, like, depressing or highly cynical. But it's like, if you're camping in the desert 100 miles away from someone will come by and say you got a license for that, you know? Like, I remember I had some friends who bought a car off Craigslist and went into the desert and blew it up. And then later he got arrested for it, like, years later. Didn't make it stick, but it still was something I remember. Where I was like, this is really, you know, you can't really escape the state. You can go to places where the state is less hostile towards you, but it's really dependent on the people. And in my experience, the bigger the metropolitan area, the more everybody's obsessed with using the state against you. Because nobody knows anybody else. So that's what they go to, is like the state. You've got to have the state to get into it. It's like, oh man, you know, we should pass a law that does this. We should pass a law that does that. Oh, these vampires are getting wrecked by this mage staff. Sweet. Because I don't know anyone in my community, and I can't talk to them, and I can't live in a community where people have the exact same values as me. You know, and if it's like a community of people that are okay with, like, a lot of drinking, that's different than a community of people who are okay with drugs or something. I think the Thor hammer is an upgrade for my white mage. A lot of gold here. I think. I wonder if it does anything. Let's find out. Weapons. The Thor hammer. Yeah, it's good. It doesn't do anything, though. It's just as good. It's Thor's hammer. So it's got to be good. Whoa! Cerebus dogs. Yeah, the more urban the environment, the more people want to use the state against their neighbors. As, like, ridiculous as that is, that's how you end up with it. Let's see, heal. Kind of like pronouns instead of candid, and engaging in conversation with the person face to face to go right to trying to pass a law. That's it. Right? It's like people aren't calling me by the they're not referring to me as the sex that I wish for them to refer to me to. Do you know that person? Do they have a relationship with you? No, but I want to throw them in jail if they don't treat me the way that I expect to be treated. That's ridiculous. But that's where we're at. I saw that, I don't know if she's going to work for Biden or not, or he. I think he's, I don't know, I think it's a transgender person. It's like, wants to classify people who like, intentionally use the, quote, wrong pronoun as mentally ill. Now, the problem with that is that, like, that's basically throwing someone in a insane asylum because they believe that you can observe that an object can be observed to have properties which then are able to place it into a category. So you have to go to the insane asylum. You gotta think of the logic of it. Like, this is something like from the Soviet Union. Alright. Dragon armor. I think that's good. Alright. So yeah, in the Soviet Union, if you didn't believe the same thing as the party, then you must be crazy, because the party knows what's best. So they put you in an insane asylum. So we'll go to insane camps, because we believe that, here's the logic chain. Is there such a thing as objective reality? Yes or no? If the answer is no, you can't throw me in jail for referring to somebody as anything because nothing's real. Okay, objective reality exists. We'll go with that one. Okay, so if objects exist, do they have observable forms? Yes. Can those forms then be placed into categories? Is it appropriate to place things into categories? When I say table, does that mean table? When I'm speaking the word table, does that mean a category? Is there such a category as tables? The answer is yes. Okay, so the observable form of something can determine its category. What about the observable function of something? Does that determine its category? Yes. So form and function can determine category. So a person who you're observing their form and you're observing the function of their form, that puts them in a category. No, they're in whatever category they want to be in. It's like, no, you're the insane person. The sane person is the person who's able to look at reality, see something with form and traits, and place it into an appropriate category. But of course, the logic's completely always undoes itself, because if the form and the function don't determine the category, nothing does. But at the same time, the categories are defined by that. It's like, I want to be defined as a woman. Okay, great. What does that mean? Well, I want to have long hair. Well, I have long hair, but I want to look like a woman. So you want to have an observable representation of the form known as woman. But an object is defined by its form, and it's defined by its function. So you can't replicate both of those things. You are what you are according to your form and function. That can't be altered. That's just anti-reality. Anyway, sorry to rant. Yeah, embracing the contradictions is one of the key things of postmodernism. Yeah, I think you are probably right there. Vampires! Actually, we'll use a heal... Do we have a heal staff here? No. That's, Heal helm. There we go. And we'll use the mage staff and the Zeus. Yeah, it is double thing. So yeah, if you want to look like you want to have the form and function of what you're trying to duplicate, but that's an impossibility. That's like saying I'm going to carve a stone into the shape of a tree and call it a tree. Sorry, no, it doesn't work that way. The category of tree is reserved for things that are actually trees, not for things which are carved into the likeness of a tree. You're just pretending, like you're making a sculpture of something. You're making a living sculpture of of the form, and not even the function, but mostly the form of what you wish. It's very disturbing, and the idea that somebody who sees that this is the way reality works is going to be mentally ill is crazy. I'll have to find it because it's absolutely bonkers what people think now about this. I do love the music. Rumble Hotep. I do. The Hoteps. The Trumps are gone, but the Hoteps remain. I love the music in this game so much, especially the Skykeep. I think this music has held up really well. And I think the evidence of that is you hear these same themes so much again. Even one of the themes early in the game is like the opening theme of Final Fantasy XII. They just reuse it because it's so good. P really cannot be P. Some of them even deny the law of non-contradiction. And so one of the things that is in one of my books, and several of my books, is this idea that it is the people who make reality. And you can see there's people who live in their own reality. That the fact that there's an objective reality, that there's a world that exists whether you want it to or not, doesn't matter, because to the solipsistic individual, their perception is all that matters, and they can shape their own perception. If they repeat it enough, if they incant the lie enough, if they like pray about it enough to... One of us escaped with a cube. He floated far to the west. Thank you. I already got the cube. Save time. If you profess it enough, then it will become real. It's like a magic spell. You know, that's why they repeat things that are insane. Ooh, blue dragon. I bet you this will work good. There's the Zeus on him. It's the opening theme to most of them. I thought the opening thing was like they had that harp theme in so many of them. But yeah, people make their own reality in the sense that what they perceive to be real is to them real. So they live in a different reality from everybody else. I think we have some heals that we can use here. Oh, my guy's almost died. Can I use a cabin? Cannot sleep here. Alright. Transporter operation requires a cube. There we go. There it is. Here's the new music. Bum, 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 bum. All right. It's all futuristic. Who says there was no sci-fi originally in this game? This is sci-fi right here. Batman! He looks like Batman. That's what's funny. He looks like Batman. Let's use that. Let's use that wizard staff. Mage staff. Here we go. The harp song is the prelude. I don't know. The title theme I thought was when Final Fantasy appeared on screen. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, but that's kind of deep in the game. But yeah, that you see that it's used a couple times. They even used it in Final Fantasy XII as the opening theme. But I don't know if they used it in another game as the opening theme. They might have. I hear that harp theme a lot. You never trust English game translations? Batman. Badman. The idea of personal truth is my one big diversion from Jordan Peterson. Well, I mean, it's like there's truth, but like people who live in their own personal truth, to them it's like it's real. And like, how are you going to get in there? And trying to prove to them that reality is objective and is different from what they think is probably going to be pretty tough because they're not observing reality at all. Like, we would call that person insane, but people do it to a huge degree. And it's just it's an extreme version of like a theory of the world. Everybody has a theory of how the world works because frankly, the world is too complex to fully grasp. So you come up with a theory of how things kind of fit together and then you go with it. And usually most people revise that theory when they're presented with new information. So you're like, you know, when you're a kid, you think that like mom and dad magically bring home food. And then you grow up and you realize that they have to do productive work for other people to get paid to then buy the food. And then you have a different theory of the world. That's like you have to do some kind of work that people want you to do so you can get money so you can get the things you want. You know, you revise your theory of the world. These are people who like won't revise their theory of the world ever. So what do you do with them? I don't know. You know, I've revised my theory of the way things work like multiple times, and I still revise it because you get new information that makes you rethink what the hell's going on. You know, man, these guys just are not dying. There we go. Go heal. Got a couple free heals out here, maybe. That'll help. Yeah, your truth is just sophistry for your opinion. But what I mean is, like, to them that perceive it, they are perceiving reality, even though it's just shadows on the cave wall. So what I did in my books is I just took that to the extreme, and I basically said it's literal. Like, if enough people believe there's a mountain there, then the mountain will be there. In a lot of ways, we do create our own world. Like, you live in a house. I'm in a house that was created by people. Man created this. This wasn't like a natural phenomenon, this house. It's very not natural. Boop, 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 boop. Gurnaga. All right, Gurnaga. Let's see what this Gurnaga does. Yeah, many are quite stubborn. It's so like, I think I linked Brian's blog the other day. He found a great quote where they're like, you know, children are finally going to get out of cages. It's like, children were never in cages. But I saw a picture once, and when people told me that picture was fake, I just chose not to believe them. So I continue to believe Trump is personally putting children in cages. The Bane sword. I'll have to kind of look this one up. Bane. I think you get it. I think it casts Bane, which is kind of cool. But it has low damage. So I don't know. It's good though, so I think I'm gonna use it. I think I can hold on to it and use it. I think if it's just in the, let's see, the Sun Sword is really good. We actually want to equip the Sun Sword. The Ice Sword is the second best. What about the Defense Sword? No, the Defense Sword is better. So we actually want to trade the Defense Sword. Equip that. Trade the Ice Sword for the Flame Sword and equip that. No, equip that. There we go. So now we have it all pretty much set up here. And oh, it's cast Ruse. I didn't realize that. Well, that's pretty good. What does Ruse do? So I have to look this stuff up because it's like it's not obvious what ruse is supposed to do. The enemy is fooled into seeing multiple images of the magician. Invades rate. Oh, increases evade rates. Okay, well that's cool. All right. Maybe we could... Let's trade Bane to this person. So we have two things going on here. Okay, that'll work. It's a lot of confirmation bias in echo chambers. I think social media does accelerate things. Like, let's see. I could use the wizard staff here, and then I can use the Bane sword. We're just using... Just hit him with all the different things. Zeus. And what do you do with them? Move them to large metropolitan areas and farm them for votes, according to Democrats. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ancient sci-fi being discovered by less advanced civilizations is one of my favorite settings, too. I like that a lot. It's something that I really liked about Mass Effect, actually. The Mass Effect universe, at least in that first game, to me, was just really cool. For that reason. It's like it's such a good mystery. And as you slowly uncovered the mystery, I think it got more and more interesting up to that final climax. Especially when you finally found the conduit when you were on the basically on the Prothean homeworld. That was a cool moment. When you talk to like the AI and it's like, yeah, I've been slowly shutting off these life pods for thousands of years until they were all dead to preserve this knowledge. Everything bad both before and after this term is Trump's fault, and everything good during his term is either Obama's or Biden's achievement. Yeah, that's how it's spun. There's no credit where credit's due. Although I will always like Trump for just making the media piss and shit themselves every single day for 5 years. Like that was a bloody good show. You have to admit. That was a pretty good show. So I will always appreciate him for that. You know, it's something else to make everybody in the media lose their mind every single day. The Bane sword is not really working. It's not working that good. I think the mainstream media has been so full of crap for so long, but people have only really started waking up lately, it seems. Like I first became really keenly aware of this back during the OJ Simpson trial. When they published that picture of OJ Simpson and they like made him look blacker and photoshopped it to make him look all kinds of different ways, or they altered the photo. And it's like, that's such an intentional thing to make him look like a scary black man. And that's when I realized that the media, that pictures, you can't trust them, and that you can't trust the media either because they are wanting you to think something other than, they want you to think something. That's why they're showing you that. I'm gonna have to drop something else. What are we dropping? I think it's time to say bye-bye to the ice shield. Another heel helm. Now, actually what I can do here, he can hold the heel helm and use it, I think. The opal helm is slightly better for armor. I think we're gonna have to drop the flame armor. Oh, pro ring. I don't think the pro ring can be worn. Oh, he can. Yeah, he can wear the pro ring. Sweet. Alright. Well, I got rid of a ribbon. He could have worn the ribbon, too, apparently. Oh, well. Oh, well. Let's go to weapons. Let's trade this heal over here. There we go. Alright. But previous R that actually did do horrids are suddenly angelic whenever they oppose Trump. Yeah. Should save before dropping? Maybe. Take out the opal and heal? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like, this stage of the game is honestly just not that hard. So you don't really need to worry that much about it. I guess is my point. But you can cast triple heals without using any magic. Remember when the OJ trial, when the jury was taken to his house, all the pictures of OJ was with white people mysteriously disappeared and were replaced with various African art pieces? I don't remember that. Fight the bad man. Watch, we can just like triple heal here. No, we don't want to do that. We want to, let's get rid of 2 of them. And we can heal and heal. Double heal. Alright, have a good night, Patrick. I'll check Twitter here in a minute. Let's heal. 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 Yeah, I love how Trump co-opted the phrase fake news, yeah. Mappa was using fake news to smear like Babylon Bee. You know. Is what it was originally for. Because they tried to pretend like people thought it was real. There were actually people that would share actual fake news that was like intended to look real. And for the most part, it was like stuff like The Onion and Babylon Bee. Babylon Bee is way funnier than The Onion at this point. Poisoning! These manticores are poisoning. Here we go. Heal. And heal. Oh, nothing. There we go. You know, they are fake though. I mean, they lie a lot. They lie all different ways. I've gone through the ways that they lie. They lie through omission. They lie by changing the order of facts, by using things like passive voice to avoid saying what actually happened, by giving you half the facts, knowing you'll infer something that's incorrect. They do all that kind of stuff. If you reverse everything they say, it's almost accurate. Yeah, I mean, what I usually tell people is like, it's almost always the opposite of what they say it is. You know? So if they say, for instance, I'm trying to think of it like an easy one that's a good example. They might say, Trump walks out of deal with North Korea. Yeah, he walked out of the deal with North Korea with the deal with North Korea, right? So they're like, what they are trying to get you to believe is the opposite of the truth. You notice how young people use the phrase imagine and then they proceed to make an offhand remark? Yeah. Imagine that. House. There was a whole house. More armor. Ooh. I guess we're going to drop the ice armor. Let's see what's in here. Actually, I could look it up. A silver helmet. That was not worth it. Should have left that in the box. Oh well. Asking Trump if he was a white supremacist a few months ago. Yeah, they'd be like, Trump, white supremacist Trump, refuses to pardon all of these death row inmates that are black. It's like, instead he pardoned 20 other people who were black who didn't do it. We didn't want them pardoned. We wanted the people who raped and murdered white people pardoned. Why? We actually didn't want that, but it was an opportunity to try to get one over on Trump. So we decided we'd take that opportunity. Actually, I should look at the loot. I think I have a loot table here, so I can actually see like what the loot is. There's a pro cape in here. There's a katana, which I can't even use. I've finally looked up a map because I'm like, I just need to see where stuff is. These are actually really short levels, and they'd be even shorter if you weren't trying to get the loot out of them. But here I am trying to get the loot. Like, leave no stone unturned. I have a lot of... How much gold do I have now? 580,000. Plenty. So yeah, I think Joe's going to make it maybe a year. Maybe a year. And then that's going to be it. Do you have any recommendations for writing software to use or techniques to keep your work organized and such? I use Microsoft Word. Other people like Scrivener. There are 0 functions in Scrivener that I find useful, so I don't use it. But other people like it, so to the people who like it, maybe they could tell you why they like it. It has no features whatsoever that I find useful. The way I organize notes is I organize them as notes like in different documents and things. I have my own way of doing it. For me, the Word document really replicates like a paper, like papers, because that's the way I do my thinking. If you're writing scripts, though, you do need Final Draft. That's pretty much a given. So if you're doing scripts, you need to have Final Draft Pro, and I don't know what version it's on now, but that's what you have to have. That's just the software that's used in the entertainment industry. Adamant. So we can turn that into Excalibur. I gotta remember where you gotta go for that. No problem. You're welcome. I think that's the way out. These are all treasure rooms. Oh, an eye. Get him. No, wait. Like, Scrivener has features where, like, you can keep track of characters and stuff. And I just have separate documents for that. You guys don't see my computer setup right now. But I have 3 monitors. I have plenty of space to put notes out when I'm writing. And have, like, a video up or, like, some music going or something. Or have Twitter open to distract me. Yeah, what's in this? It's in 18. Black shirt. There's a black shirt and a white shirt. So, I'm not sure what we drop at this point. I think we dropped the silver helm for sure. And I think we can drop... Oh, I don't know what else to drop. Really need a few more armor slots. I don't know what the black shirt does, though. Oh, it must be like cloth or something. Only a black wizard can use it, but it casts ice 2 when used. And the white shirt casts invisibility 2 when used. And I believe Larry can wear it. So, it's got opal. The opal is really strong. No, wait. Opal bracelet is really good. We're not going to drop that. I don't know what to drop. Oh, well, we should drop that because we can't even... Oh, no, I shouldn't have dropped that because I could use it. I could use it even though I can't equip it. Dang it. Oh, well. Alright, so you can either wear the white shirt or the opal bracelet. The opal bracelet is better, but we can use the white shirt to cast invisibility. But I think invis doesn't even work. So unfortunately I dropped the black shirt and I don't want to reload the save. You gotta live with your mistakes sometimes. It's alright. Because that one casts like some free black magic. You could hand that to somebody and have them use it. Whatever, doesn't matter. We still have the use the white shirt. Raises their evasion. The weapons are probably better to hold on to as far as items go. Final Draft really is good for writing screenplays, Jared. It's just really makes it straightforward, keep the scenes organized. It auto-formats everything because the formatting is so weird, you know? Like, the formatting was designed on typewriters and stuff. What's your DAW of choice looking at making some music? So, right now I do everything in Ableton. I use Ableton Live 9. So they're on version 10. My version's old. So, yeah. I use an older version, but it's still good. So, that's what I use. I have the studio version, which is like the most expensive one. You don't need that if you are going to be getting lots of plugins separately. If you're planning to spend the difference on plugins from other companies, then you don't need the studio version. If you're like me and you just don't want to bother with that, and that is annoying to you, then the studio version's great because it has just a ridiculous amount of sounds and stuff built into it. Everybody's muted, which is funny. You can still use the items when you're muted. If you want a really stripped down DAW and you just want to hunt plugins yourself, my recommendation is Reaper. Reaper works really good. It's only $60 for an individual to use. And that $60 will go to help basically individual or independent Opal Shield. That's good. Another ribbon. It'll basically go to helping like indie guys, indie developers to develop their software. So it's really good, and it can basically run on a potato too. And so what's good about that is you can run it on a really crappy... I already have an Opal Shield. I think the Aegis Shield is better. So I really don't need that Opal Shield. You can just drop it. And we don't need... What's in number 20? A ribbon. We don't need the ribbon either. But might as well pick it up. Because I dropped the other one. So that'll slightly help. Sin number 21 is an Opal Gauntlet. We don't need that either. Cremate. He's got a cremate attack. Rad. Chimera. Do a heal real quick. Interesting you could make a video about DAWs. I just want something reasonably cheap without add.exe dodgy files. So here's the thing. The reason that I like Ableton is it has basically no DRM. No DRM, so it functions. Now, my versions become slightly less stable as things have gone along. Sometimes it hangs up when saving. I'm not really sure why that is at this point. Could be because I have like 6 hard drives. I don't know. I keep adding hard drives in my system. Nightmare and Evil Man. All right. Howdy, howdy, Lockland. I'm almost done here. So yeah, Reaper's it's very low cost. It's very stripped down. It's very easy to use, but you're going to have to get all your plugins yourself. Now, you can get a lot of them yourself, but, you know, you're going to be spending the difference on that, or you can even find free plugins. So there's always the option to get, like, the free, you know, the free plugins. Like the Lepew amp plugins and stuff. All that kind of stuff. I'm going to look. Well, this is a big level here, too. There's 5 levels to this. Oh, my gosh. And then there's more stuff in here. I'm going to have to probably call it here because I need to go to bed. I'm listening to no DRM. This could be good. Yeah, so Reaper doesn't use DRM either. And when you buy it, it will guarantee you that you can use it up through a certain version number. And I'm trying to remember how long that you can expect that to be, but it's, you know, it's pretty good. So you can expect it to last you a good long time, a couple years. I think that one is actually, I don't need that one, it's a Pro Ring. So that's pretty cool about Reaper. I have both. I've paid for both. I don't remember how much the studio version of Ableton is. It ain't cheap though. It's a lot. So you can get the Ableton like intro version for like $100, and you can get Live Light. Just comes with all kinds of stuff. So if you want to, you can get like a Novation keyboard. I actually have one behind me. That Novation keyboard back there, which isn't hooked up right now. It came with a version of Live 9 Lite. My interface came with Live 9 Lite. You can get all kinds of equipment that just comes with it for you to have the Lite version. If you're limited to 8 tracks, which for me is not enough tracks at all. But, you know, for somebody who wants to try it out, that's probably fine. And you could probably find a free version of the Lite software to try it out. See if you like the workflow on it. It has really good workflow. Good digital keyboard. So this one's okay, but a lot of all the extra buttons and knobs stopped working. It's made to use in Ableton, but they like stopped working at some point. And but the actual keys work, and so that's good. And I appreciate that. Katana. Let's see what the katana does. Katana. I think no one can use it. No, the knight can use it, I think. Nope, knight can't use it. Just the ninja. Only ninja can use it. Oh well. Now that's actually the exit there, but I think there's some more loot. We probably want to get the other loot. See if there's any other loot here. Pro cape. And I think there's nothing down at the bottom. Occasionally you can hit the hardest boss in the game here. Is there anything else in here? I don't think there is. I think everything else is like in the final level, like the really good stuff. So rest of it is going to be garbage, but we'll go pick it up real quick. Oh, that took me down a level. You can talk to this robot. I mean, a piece of software that imitates a keyboard. I don't know about that. If you're thinking like a plugin, I'd say if a great one to start with is the Synth One plugin, which duplicates all kinds of FM plugins from days of yore. Let's go with Ice. Can't use Ice 3 yet for some reason. Ice 2. And then we'll do this. So yeah, the Synth One, it's free. A digital keyboard, if you know what I mean. So that's a synth module. Most DAWs will let you use your keyboard, your clicky keys letter keyboard as a MIDI keyboard. If you don't have a MIDI keyboard available, I've done that on a laptop if I need to. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right because I grew up playing pianos and stuff, so I don't know. That's what I do. There's also a lot of virtual piano ones. You can get all kinds of patches for your MIDI setup. What's cool about Reaper is it does do MIDI and audio. It does let you record multiple audio streams, which is really nice and useful. And one of these is the Pro Cape. All these guys. Zeus. Yeah, Synth One is pretty good. You can get a lot of cool Nintendo sounds with Synth One, and it can arpeggiate stuff. And you do all kinds of fun stuff. In February, I'm going to try to record a whole album. It's going to be like my creative project for February. I've had a lot of fun doing these streams, but I'm going to have to do less of them so that I can do other work more efficiently. So I'll probably dial it back to like 3 days a week. But it was a good time to do like one every night. See if I could commit to doing one every night. See what that's like. I've spent probably too long. Like if I could maybe manage to do 30-minute streams or something instead of like this one's at an hour and 20. That would probably be better, I guess. What the Pro Cape does. Let's find out. The Pro Cape has -2 evasion. What does it do? It doesn't do anything. It looks pretty bad. I guess it increases your evasion. I think negative numbers are better for evasion. But I'm not sure. So it's probably not very good. Almost everyone can use it though. So it looks like it's worse than Aegis and Opal. What is it? Worse than Red Wizard and White Wizard can use it. So I guess we'll drop something. I don't know what to drop. Everything is good. I guess we can drop one of these heal helms. I don't want to drop the Zeus. Like, because he could wear that, and it would give him like 8 armor, I think. But I don't know. So the Pro Cape, I think, is probably good to have. But I think I'll drop that. See if we can use this. Should have saved. It has 8 armor. Yeah, you can equip it, so that's good. Oh, you know what? I think I could have done some other switching around here. The Zeus, the knights could wear a Zeus. One of the knights could wear, instead of a silver, he could wear the Zeus. And something like that. So I probably could have done that better. Oh well. I'm not going to worry about it now. There's like a cloth cape in one of the other ones. Yeah, it might be intended for Monk. Monk can use it. No, Black Belt can't use that one, actually, for some reason. That's weird. It's been really useful to have, like, Larry, but he could, you know, he could hold on to, like, the wizard staff or something. He could hold on to a different thing to do damage. I could have worked that out better. I'm sure we'll get another item. So, there's another Pro Cape in the last level, so Larry could finally have an armor in that slot. I think that's it. I think it's time to move on to the next level here. Leveling up still. Lots of XP. Level 27. Alright, I think I'm going to call it here as we go to the next level, and I'll pick it up tomorrow. This level's pretty long because it's 2 levels in one. Use ISBN numbers when you self-publish. Amazon will give those to you. You will only want to buy ISBN numbers if you are trying to do a lot of very... Most of you are not going to need to worry about it. You're only going to need ISBN numbers if you're trying to track sales across many different platforms. Like if you are trying to go very wide and you're publishing a lot of physical books to bookstores. Otherwise, there's no reason to pay for it. It's just a cost with no benefit. Okay? So no, you don't really need the ISBN. You can have the ISBN that Amazon assigns you, and it's fine. The only, like, even for me, if I go wide on a book, I have an ISBN that's one for Amazon and one for everybody else that are free, that I don't have to pay for. So if I want to find my total sales, I just add those two together. You know, but it would only matter if you're trying to get, like, on the New York Times bestseller list, which you're not going to get on because that's rigged anyway. And it's not even, you know, you could sell 5,000 books and be on the bestseller list. Anyway. All right. So that's it, folks. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next time. I got to get to bed. I'm tired. So have a great one. I really, dude, I want to say, let me say, I've had like the best time doing this. This has been actually a lot of fun. It's just playing a game and streaming and talking about whatever. I've had the most fun talking with this chat that I've had in this channel, like, in a long time. So I'm glad I picked up this habit for the month of January. I thought I'd try it for like 30 days and see how that worked out. I'm really looking forward to doing more games in the Final Fantasy series. I got them all worked out on my Vita. I've got them all loaded up. So what I can do on my PlayStation Vita is I can play them off stream, with a device that's in my pocket, when I have downtime. And then I can, now that I've figured out how to hook my Vita up for video, I can just stream it whenever I'm sitting down. So I can do all that. I can even use a DualShock controller with this thing. It's pretty cool. So definitely, if you haven't gotten a PS Vita, they are awesome. Hack your Vita. Hacking my Vita was the best decision I ever did with it. And I finally got down and fully set it up with a 0.5 terabyte SD card and everything in it to just hold all the games that I've had for it and for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation Portable, all that stuff over the years. You could put it all on one device and carry it around with you, and it just works really well, So it's a good decision. So if you can grab a hold of one or you have one sitting in a drawer somewhere, it's actually a great piece of technology, and you should think about using it again. I like that it's personal. You have time to answer questions. Really cool. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I like to answer questions. I like to help people. I generally, because I don't take editing clients or anything, I prefer to just do it on YouTube because it's more fun. Other people try to make editing into a job. I'd rather spend my other time outside of this kind of thing, writing books or doing music. So I don't take any editing clients on, but I do study storycraft a lot, and I try to communicate what I learn to people, hopefully. Super Mario RPG was really fun. It was a really fun game. I remember when I bought it, I just couldn't believe how fun it actually ended up being. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time.